Right. Hello, everybody. I trust you had a good weekend, that you also spent a little bit of time working also towards the assessments for next week. As promised, this is the second canned session that we presenting during week 13. I had originally planned for 3 sessions, but I've actually brought it back to just the first one, which was open this morning, and this session, during which I outline some of the work that you need to focus on. I will also deal with the assessments at the end of this session. So just to give you a sense again of where we've been, week 11 and 12, and then this morning you received the first one about finding your way through the book. And I'm now going to do a quick session on terminology that I believe you should master in terms of research and going forward. Um, these are early small steps, and I'm sure you'll take them with you as you move into your career and as you move on with your research and reflective practices. Next week, of course, your final assessment, and then the final week, we await your course evaluations. So let me say something right up front and try to make sure that you get this message quite clearly. We can never do justice to this subject, research, in the scope of 3 45-minute sessions or just over 2 or 3 weeks. And so all we can do is give you a very narrow overview. And please, this really is what this unit has been about. You have your whole career ahead of you. What hopefully the narratives that we've had, the conversations we've had, will hopefully get you started on a process. I want to reiterate that this is a reference book, somewhat like a dictionary. You don't learn a dictionary, and you also do not learn this one. I really don't want you guys to go and sit and cram and spend hours on this. This is not what this process is about. But on the other hand, do not delegate this book to a shelf, dark, deep shelf in your study. Keep it handy on your desk where you see it from time to time for easy reference, or in your top drawer, and refer to it when needed. Um, Learning the procedures and terminology. So the book has 8 chapters, and they are listed here for you. Um, from the introduction through the lit review, research proposal, how you draft it. That was week 11 stuff. We spent a bit of time there. Data collection methods and procedures, reliability, validity, and rigor, analyzing and interpreting data, and then finally presenting your research. I'm going to take them and sort of just speak briefly to each of them to give you a sense of your preparation for the assessments, I guess. So introduction, the chapter there, they're sort of, you need to understand what quantitative research is. You need to understand what qualitative research is. We spoke briefly about action research. We also referred in week 11, I think we spoke about action research, what the function is and the purpose and how it works. Um, as far as the second chapter, literature review, you really just need to understand the lit review, the different types of review that can be done. But, this is not a deep search. This is not a deep study. Just have an overview of what a literature review may entail. We then come to research proposal and data collection methods. And the proposal was, as I've said a number of times now, this is what we dealt with in week 11. Get the sense of what a primary objective is and a secondary objective, where your primary objective is what you want to say, and what are the secondary objectives that feed into that. There's an interesting example on page 52 to which you might just want to refer. Understanding also empirical research methodology. That's in that section. Just get an idea of what that entails, the empirical bit of that concept, and then just quick read, get a sense of ethics about protecting the people that are, part of your research, the focus of your research, about protecting them, their anonymity, and so on and so forth. Data collection methods section that you will find interesting as you conduct your own classroom-based research, specifically the primary data collection section. That's really all you need to look at in that chapter. Then we come to the data collection procedures and chapter 6 that refers to reliability, validity, and rigor. And the procedures, we didn't go there, and really for now you don't need to go there in terms of assessment. But these concepts of reliability and validity and rigor, you need to understand them. You need to get a sense of when is your data reliable and when is it valid, and what is this thing called rigor in terms of research. Let's get a sense of those ideas so that you can begin to speak the language of research. And then the last two chapters, analyzing and interpreting the data. Don't bother with these two chapters at this stage. You're not anywhere near presenting your research data. We're certainly not going to work on that. But one day when you do want to present, this is where you go, whether you're presenting it at a conference or whether you're writing up an article or however you're going to present your data. I want to just end off this canned session with some thoughts on the assessment processes. And I want you to embrace and be able to apply a reflective teaching cycle. Obviously, we've spent a whole session talking just about that. Not just to know it as a theoretical concept. I don't want you to learn, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. But I want you to be able to demonstrate that you're able to reflect in real terms, relating a reflective cycle, Kolb and Gibbs, to your practice. I want you to be able to do that, and I'm sure that's where we'll go with our assessments too. And then, given the limited time we've had, I need you to grasp and understand some of the terminology that drives a research practice. You need to come to your test prepared to be able to deal with those two components that we dealt with over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So good luck for your final assessments. I wish it goes well with you. I trust you will come well prepared to class and produce some good results. And please stay safe. Thank you very much. And we'll talk again maybe sometime going further.